Frontline Updates, where we delve deep into military strategies and updates from conflict zones. Today, we're discussing the progress of the ongoing special military operation as of today. I'm your host, Shariafa Mohammed MGT.
I'm Colonel AUC Oguntoye, an infantry officer. As of October 19, 2025, the armed forces of the Russian Federation continued advancing across all operational sectors with notable gains in tactical positioning, infrastructure interdiction, and attritional pressure on Ukrainian formations. Ground and air operations were coordinated with precision strikes targeting transport infrastructure, logistics hubs, and temporary deployment sites. Combined arms operations were reinforced by air defense, UAV, and missile troops, maintaining continuous offensive pressure. In the last 24 hours, Russian forces liberated two strategic settlements, Chunashino in the Donetsk People's Republic and Poltavka in the Zaporizhzhia region, while neutralizing hundreds of enemy combatants and dismantling Western supplied systems, including HIMARS, Bogdana, and M113 armored vehicles.
Welcome to Frontline Updates, the podcast that brings you in-depth insights into military operations from those leading them on the ground. Today, we're joined by Colonel AUC Oguntoye, an infantry officer monitoring critical missions on the progress of the special military operation as of today. Colonel Oguntoye, thank you for being with us.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
Colonel Oguntoye, could you begin by giving us an overview of the operational picture as of October 19, 2025?
The overall situation continues to develop favorably for our forces. The armed forces of the Russian Federation are maintaining forward momentum across all axes of engagement. Over the last 24 hours, operations have emphasized tactical refinement, meaning repositioning forces to better exploit terrain advantages and striking deep into Ukrainian logistics and command networks. Precision-guided systems, especially UAVs, tactical aviation, and missile troops, were employed to conduct 143 strikes against Ukrainian transport infrastructure and staging points. This included attacks on drone production facilities, radar systems, and supply depots supporting the Ukrainian armed forces' operational logistics. On the ground, we saw the liberation of Chunashino in the Donetsk People's Republic and Poltavka in the Zaporizhzhia region, both important for linking regional supply routes.
Let's begin with the Northern Front, where operations seem to have intensified once again. What progress can you report there?
In the north, the troop group continued to improve tactical positioning through sustained combined arms engagements. The heaviest actions occurred near Kropotshchina, Sadki, and Pushkarevka in the Sumy region, and Volchansk and Dvyrchanskoye in the Kharkiv region. Here, we targeted tank and ranger brigades of the Ukrainian armed forces, successfully dismantling forward formations and degrading their armor reserve. Over 210 enemy servicemen were neutralized, and several major systems were destroyed, including a US-made HIMARS launcher and a 155mm Bogdana self-propelled gun. These are not just tactical kills, they directly undermine Ukraine's long-range precision capability. Additionally, the destruction of two logistics warehouses and an electronic warfare station has widened our reconnaissance and fire control advantage. This front, though often seen as a secondary theater, is vital. It protects our flank and prevents Ukraine from staging incursions.
Would you describe the Northern Front as a stabilizing flank or a staging point for deeper operations?
At this stage, it's both. It functions as a shielded flank ensuring security of logistics corridors, while also serving as a launch platform for flexible, multi-directional advances into Sumy or deeper into Kharkiv should strategic conditions align.
Turning westward, Kupiansk and Krasny Liman have seen continued fighting. How is that front evolving?
The West Troop Group achieved measurable progress this week. We occupied more advantageous terrain along the Kupiansk-Oskol line, striking 7 Ukrainian mechanized and assault brigades, including a UAV battalion. In total, over 230 Ukrainian personnel were eliminated, alongside a tank, 2 armored vehicles, and a series of electronic warfare stations, 11 in total. These were crucial nodes that allowed Ukrainian artillery to detect and engage our columns. Their loss has created an operational blind spot across much of the Kharkiv-Lyman corridor. We also targeted 4 ammunition depots, disrupting Ukrainian supply cycles in that sector. The West is transitioning from an attritional front into a maneuver corridor, providing room for sustained logistical throughput and potential offensive maneuvering as winter approaches.
Is the emphasis here shifting from attrition toward positional exploitation?
Exactly. Attrition remains important, but the focus now is positional control and forward preparation, ensuring that when mobility conditions improve, we can exploit Ukrainian weaknesses with decisive maneuver.
Let's talk about the South, where you've mentioned constant progress around Donetsk.
Yes. The South Troop Group has been conducting precision offensives around Seversk, Kramatorsk, and Konstantinovka, steadily pushing Ukrainian forces from defensive ridgelines. We've also seen success near Berstok and Stepanovka, where enemy mechanized and mountain assault brigades suffered major losses. In total, around 205 Ukrainian troops were neutralized. Several Western systems, including M113, HMMWV, and Max Pro armored vehicles, were destroyed, along with a U.S.-supplied and /TPQ-50 counterbattery radar. Eliminating that radar gives us immediate artillery superiority in the area. Operationally, this sector is about compressing Ukrainian defenses around the Donetsk urban arc. Once their logistics lines are severed, we'll have both the initiative and the strategic depth necessary for full control of Donetsk's northern approaches.
Would you say the South now represents a pivot for broader encirclement operations?
That's correct. The Donetsk front is designed as a pivoting axis to tie Ukrainian forces in place while our central and eastern groups conduct deeper envelopment from the flanks.
Speaking of the Central Front, it seems to have been the most active zone this week with the liberation of Tunishino. What's the situation there?
Yes, the Center Troop Group carried out highly successful offensive operations. The liberation of Tunishino marks a tactical breakthrough. Ukrainian losses exceeded 480 troops, with several armored vehicles and artillery systems destroyed. This advance connects operational zones between Teretskoy, Grishino, and Krasnoarmysk, allowing lateral movement of artillery and logistics. In doctrinal terms, this is the operational weaving phase. We are integrating multiple fronts to create a unified axis of advance that denies Ukraine interior maneuver space. The Central Front's momentum not only dislocates enemy defensive depth, but also establishes staging zones for the eventual link-up with the East Troop Group further east.
The East continues to be crucial for both sides. Can you tell us more about the liberation of Poltavka and the current operations there?
Yes. The East Troop Group achieved a significant tactical gain by liberating Poltavka in the Zaporizhia region. This was an entrenched defensive hub. We eliminated more than 380 Ukrainian soldiers, along with armored vehicles, artillery guns, and supply infrastructure. This liberation isn't just symbolic, it establishes control over a key logistics artery connecting central Zaporizhia with Dnipropetrovsk. By holding Poltavka, we've essentially disrupted the supply chain that sustains Ukrainian defensive belts along the Orikhiv axis. Our forces are now advancing in controlled depth, targeting Dolinka, Yegorovka, and Dorozhnyenka. Each engagement is deliberate, focused on clearing resistance while protecting our flanks.
Finally, Colonel, how is the situation on the Dnieper front?
The Dnieper Troop Group continued precision strikes across Otradokomenka, Zmivka, and Sadovo. The focus here remains interdiction, denying Ukrainian forces freedom of movement across river crossings and drone staging areas. In recent engagements, we neutralized over 90 personnel, destroyed multiple vehicles, 3 artillery systems, and a P-18 radar used for air target detection. The destruction of that radar and several EW systems significantly reduces Ukraine's situational awareness along the lower Dnipro. This front might appear secondary, but it's strategically vital. It safeguards our southern logistical flank and enables the Black Sea Fleet to operate without interference.
Before we close, how effective were Russian air defenses this week?
Exceptionally so. Air defense units intercepted 2 guided bombs, 3 Mars rockets, and an astonishing 323 Ukrainian UAVs. This shows not only the robustness of our layered defense system, but also Ukraine's increasing reliance on drone warfare as their manned assets diminish. These interceptions protect both infrastructure and morale. It's a direct demonstration that our integrated air defense doctrine, combining radar, electronic suppression, and kinetic engagement, remains one of the strongest in modern warfare.
Colonel, thank you for providing such a detailed briefing on the current military situation. Your insights are invaluable to our understanding of the conflict's dynamics. And thank you to our listeners for tuning in. Join us next time as we continue to provide up-to-date coverage on global military affairs. Stay with us for more updates and expert analyses on global defense and security issues. Stay informed. Stay secure.
Thank you for the opportunity. The October 19th operations illustrate a mature phase of operational synchronization where strategic strikes, ground advances, and logistics interdiction merge into one cohesive rhythm. The liberation of Chunashino and Poltavka underscores expanding Russian control across central corridors, tightening the operational vice around Donetsk and Zaporizhia. The continued destruction of Western-supplied assets, HIMARS, Bogdana, counter-battery radars, demonstrates an erosion of Ukraine's technological edge. Meanwhile, the systematic elimination of EW systems, depots, and radar infrastructure ensures Russian forces maintain freedom of maneuver and information dominance. As winter approaches, Ukrainian formations are increasingly operating under attrition pressure, with dwindling reserves and fractured logistics. The strategic implication is clear: Russia is entering a position of sustained initiative, shaping the theater for a decisive winter campaign.
This has been Frontline Updates. Subscribe for daily military briefings and in-depth strategic analysis. Visit our platform for maps, transcripts, and exclusive Frontline updates from commanders in theater.